925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate today will also receive free roadside assistance and towing at no additional cost. That is 800-925-7584 right now. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Good morning, actual fighter. Ken Williams.
Morning, Vic.
You get into a fight? Is that why your eye looks like that?
No, it's a sty. What do they call it?
It sounds a lot cooler. So yeah, I got into
Hey,
a fight.
from Ray from Arnold yesterday, he called and suggested that
the gold.
the gold. I put gold on it.
How'd it work?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I tried. My wife has a Cougaran or whatever they call those things, so I tried that, and hey, maybe it'll help. I don't know.
Didn't work.
Maybe
I'm praying for
it's
you.
getting a little better. I guess.
Praying for you if it didn't work. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I have no idea. All right, great show today. We've been talking about this big barbecue event happening this weekend for veterans, and Paul Spuhl is with us, and he's going to start us off here. He's right in the studio here with us. And when you come into the studio, you get extra points from the Vic Show. At 9:25, Ken, I've got some thoughts on Amendment 3 that hit me the other day, that this shouldn't even be an issue. This shouldn't even be on the ballot. Right? Missouri, we were a right-to-life state, right?
Right.
And we're going to turn into a crazy left-wing abortion at any time state.
Yeah, the existing bill, the existing way that it is now. Okay, they're trying to say that no matter what, you can't get an abortion. If you're going to die, you're going to die. You can't get an abortion to save your life, and it's not true.
Right.
It's just not true. So. That's
exactly.
the big lie.
I'm glad you brought it up that way, because that's part of where I'm going to go. So are we actually witnessing the death of identity politics? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Another great guest from Project 21 and the National Center for Public Policy Research is going to join us. His name is Andre Barnes, and Tim Jones at 10:05. Chat box, of course, 10:25, and I don't know what else. We'll mix something up. Make it up.
The Pledge of Allegiance, brought to you by our United States Air Force and Space Force.
Ken, I already know who's going to do the Pledge of Allegiance for us today. So, it's our guest, Paul Spuhl. Paul, do you mind doing the pledge for us?
I don't mind.
Right into that mic, real close to that mic. If you can.
Yeah, let's pull that right here. I didn't set it up correctly for him. There you go.
Right on it.
You scared me. All right, here we go. Hand salute, proper salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Over 200 careers to pick from in the U.S. Air Force and Space Force. Call Jeremy Jefferson in Baldwin now at 314-295-6834. 314-295-6834.
What did you say about proper salute there?
Well, of course, I'm with the AMVET. So in meetings, prior to every meeting, we do the prayer and the pledge.
Uh-huh.
But for the non-members, so it's proper salute. In other words, if you're a veteran, salute. If you're a non-veteran, hand over heart.
How many times have I said that?
Yep.
I am not qualified to salute anyone.
Proper salute.
And I've never had the honor to serve, so.
Me neither.
I do too. With the AMVETs, if we're in full in before a meeting and we're in full uniform, even the non-veterans can salute just during our meeting if we're in proper uniform. If not,
it'd be worth it to dress up and be there and be a part of it just for that.
Totally. And I realized this when that happened, when the Abbey Gate incident happened. That's the names of all the service people who were lost on that day.
Yep.
And there's a video on YouTube that I saw. It was some bar, really cool looking bar, that had it wasn't a fireplace, but like a mantle, right? And 13 people bought a drink, one for each of the service members who were lost there. And some of the people put the drink up there and put their hand on their heart, and the people who served put the drink up there and then saluted, you know, and I was
Sure.
like, oh, I get it. I didn't serve. I don't get to salute. I don't get to salute. It's
Right.
just like if you're a musician, you can call other people cats. This cat can play, man. But if you're not a musician, you're not allowed to do that. That's my rule. It's not an official rule.
I get it. Absolutely.
All right, let's talk business here. Stop screwing around, Paul.
You know, interesting story about the 13, the Freedom 13. Corporal Humberto A. Sanchez.
Yeah.
His mother is an AMVET member in Indiana.
Oh wow.
And in Indiana, they opened up an AMVET's post and named it after him.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's
Corporal
awesome.
Humberto Sanchez, post 8/26/21, which is the day they died.
Oh my God.
So that's in
Absolutely.
Logansport, Indiana.
Wow.
All right. So the big event is happening this Saturday, right, Paul?
This Saturday,
Give me the title. Give me the cool title of it.
West County Smoking for Veterans.
Love that.
Barbecue Bash.
And it's at Clancy's in Ellisville.
Clancy's in Ellisville.
Tell us some of the stuff we'll be able to eat.
Okay, so this is how the program works. It's open to the public from 11 to 4. We have right now on board 16 teams. Out of the 16 teams, 6 of them are very aggressive competitors.
Yeah.
This is our 4th year for the event. It has been sanctioned by the St. Louis Barbecue Society this year.
Oh.
So the stakes are higher.
Is
So
it a competition?
It's a competition as well.
Oh.
Yes, it's a competition. So there are teams there that are competing for points to win awards and money at the end of the year.
Wow.
When the St. Louis Barbecue Society has.
So when you hear award-winning barbecue, that's a
they're
real
serious.
thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is
That's
a real thing.
Yeah, that's a serious one. That's real.
And these guys, they take their stuff serious, man. When they're, it's not one of those, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I mean, these guys got game face on.
Yeah, sure.
They're pretty good.
So tell me about you, Paul. Paul Spuhl. What? Give us your name again in the chat box.
P Spuhl 6566.
Right. You're not one of the wise asses in the box. are you?
Never.
Okay.
Never. No.
Tell us about you. Where'd you grow up? When did you
Okay.
serve? All that stuff.
Well, okay. So real quick background. I grew up out in Jeff County, High Ridge area, High Ridge House Springs. Good Catholic boy, Catholic grade school,
Mhm.
Catholic
So
high
you have
school.
good handwriting, right?
I have terrible handwriting.
Well, how did that happen?
I should have been a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor, but I wasn't smart enough.
Didn't the nuns slap you when you're?
Oh, I got.
Yeah.
I was.
I bet.
I was pummeled by nuns. I had.
That is
I
so
had,
funny.
I don't know, attitude. Still do a little bit, but anyway, no. I went to John F. Kennedy Catholic High School,
Oh, which is gone.
which is gone.
Gosh, so sad.
So sad. Well, you know, when you have, well, that's another long story about the St. Louis Archdiocese
Oh,
and running. It's a business. You got to know how to run a business. You put priests and nuns to run a business. A lot of them fail.
I used to. Well, I do now to this day. Pass by there where
Sure.
it was,
Right.
and it's like John F. Kennedy High School, but you can't see it. You had to like go on that one little road to go around to
Burgundy
see
Lane.
it. Yeah, Burgundy Lane,
That's it,
right?
bro. That's it.
And find it, and like I never found it.
Yeah.
All right,
That
so
was
you
it.
went to Catholic school.
Yeah, Catholic school. Spent some time at St. Louis University.
Oh,
Till Father Biondi, you know, he put his arm
Oh,
around my
yeah.
shoulder and said,
yeah.
he said, "Hey, Paul, do you think this is really the best place for you?"
Is that right?
Kind of, sort of.
Father Biondi. Well, that's a name from the past.
Oh man,
Gosh.
he built that university.
Yeah,
Remember, he used to pretty much have tell Mayor Slade what was going to happen in the
Yeah.
city.
yeah. Well, the archdiocese, they have power,
They do. They have a lot of power.
and it's sad that a lot of these parishes are losing schools, and you
They
know we're
are.
down to not too many.
No, there are a lot of them that have closed for sure.
Mhm.
But still, some of the best time of my life. I appreciate it. My mother being the Mexican Roman Catholic, and Dad German. That's where you get the Spuhl.
Ah,
German father, Mexican mother. I'm Germex. I'm like a
you're
sanitizer.
Germex. He's like a sanitizer.
Hey,
Paul has come with his own materials at
That's
the Funny
great.
Bone this weekend, Friday and Saturday, 2 shows each night.
there you go.
Um,
Okay, real quick, I'll go back to this before you even go.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I haven't finished.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know it's not your fault.
This is
it's my
going
fault.
forever.
As my wife says, have squirrel moments.
Yeah.
That's me.
So anyway, so the event is from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Beginning at noon, the public can give us, we're going to have a table set up there, a $20 donation.
Uh-huh.
For the $20 donation, we're going to give you a wristband and 20 raffle tickets. You get to go try one chicken wing from every single competitor. And then you're going to take your tickets. They're going to have little buckets out there, and you're going to put your tickets. Oh, this guy's was good. I'll give him 5
So it's up to
tickets.
us who wins.
There's a people's choice portion to this competition.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes.
That's a big honor.
There's a lot of cold beer and a lot of great chicken wings.
Right.
So at noon, the competitors have to turn in container, their vessel of chicken wings to the judges to be judged. And then at 1 o'clock, they turn in their container for ribs. And then at 2 o'clock, they're turning in their container with their mini burgers. That's the third item in the competition.
Wow.
But between noon and 3, that's when the public, for a $20 donation, can eat some chicken wings.
Yeah.
Then, of course, it's going to be, oh, these are pretty good. Hey, man, what's your ribs taste like?
Yeah. I love
Can I
ribs.
get a sample of that? Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So the people who are competing in this, average Joes or people from restaurants?
No restaurants. No, those guys are, they're at a different level.
Yeah, they're not. That's not fair.
It's not. The Pappies of the world, and John Matthews is a great friend of mine. He supports the AMVETS. He supports this event every year. He does a great job. But we have some good barbecue in St. Louis. But those guys, they don't have time for this little competition.
Yeah.
There's 16, we're small, but there's a big competition in Kansas City this weekend. So a lot of your teams with $100,000 rigs and stuff, they're going to be in Kansas City this weekend.
And I just love the atmosphere of these events.
Yeah.
Vic will remember this. The national, the chili cook-off for the National Kidney Foundation.
Loved it.
101 The River did this every year, and I used to make chili, but not the way the guys there did. They did it as professional type people, where you had to make it right there at the event. I would make my chili in 2 big containers, and I would mix this stuff down overnight, and it would cook. It was amazing chili. Then David Myers and I would have a competition within the radio station. People would have to come up and either put their ticket in mine or put their ticket in David's. And I kicked his ass. I'm sorry, I have to admit.
Don't hold back.
No, I know. But the event itself, the atmosphere was so amazing. We look forward to it every year. So this is going to be good.
It's going to be fun.
So when he won, we had to get his coffee every day.
Yeah,
We had to
right.
say, Ken, is there anything we can do for you?
Sure.
Now, I'm sorry. Paul's our guest, but I want to ask you about the chili. Aren't there rules about chili, like no meat or no beans or something?
Yeah, no beans.
No beans. Okay.
Yeah, and again, I was doing it just to compete with David.
Oh, yeah.
These other people, though, they're hardcore, and I'm sure you got a lot of hardcore people doing their meats and everything there.
Absolutely. Well, they have to. There's no pre-marinating or pre-seasoning.
Oh, you got to start from scratch.
They got to start from scratch.
See,
so they'll start setting up. I mean, they got to have wings ready by noon, ribs at 1, mini burgers by 2. And I said, you can start, on the instructions, it says, you can, teams can start coming to the parking lot of Clancy's and start up, get there at 7 a.m. Well, I'll probably be there by 5:30 because I know there's going to be people there jockeying for position. They want to get there, start setting up, and then start doing their seasoning and marinating, ahead of time.
I just love grabbing beverages, walking around, getting food whenever you need it.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. We're going to have all kinds of silent auction items that have been donated. Of course, there's always a live auction by yours truly. And before we we do that towards the end of the day, maybe like between 3 and 3:30, 4 o'clock. And that's when, we want to make sure they're very happy and their wallets are loose. And we auction off some really cool stuff.
So I have 2 questions, and then we'll let you go. Is this going to be a patriotic event? Is this going to be patriotic? A lot of patriots out there?
I think the place will be packed with patriots.
Perfect.
Patriots only, most likely.
My other question is, any bikers going to be there?
Yeah. So besides the AMVETS also have their, the auxiliaries, the Sons of AMVETS Liaison Auxiliary. And of course, we've got the riders.
Right.
There are, in the state of Missouri, we have 12 riders chapters, over 400 riders. Nationally, we have over 3,000 riders. I'm the chapter president of my chapter at Post 1, which are out of Valley Park.
This show loves them.
I'm also, well, you know what? Bikers, a lot of people don't understand. The biker community is very, very, very giving. And all summer long, you'll see a group of bikes going down this big long line. It's a mile long, and everybody's staggered and we're in order. It's a fundraiser. The guys pay $20-25 to ride in this fundraiser.
Yeah.
And they don't, they don't have to. They can ride for free, go out with their buddies. But we do a lot of stuff for the community, the biker community. But
all right, so 2 things there. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, the AMVET's been around, congressionally chartered in 1944. And Harry S. Truman signed our charter.
Oh, wow.
He became one of the founding members of the AMVETS.
Wow.
So we've been doing a lot. We have service officers that help our veterans make sure they get they get in the VA system, they get the benefits they need and stuff. And then, of course, our posts and our members scattered throughout the nation, all 50 states. We're boots on the ground. We're helping veterans with
Paul,
things they can't.
I love it, man. I just love it. I don't know what else to tell you. I do have a couple thoughts about bikers, though. I want to bring up very quickly. All this EV push. They want us to get EVs. So I'm like, what are they going to make motorcycles electric? What's Rolling Thunder going to sound like with electric vehicles?
Exactly. And of course, what used to be Rolling Thunder in DC, the AMVETs took over. It's since 2020. It's been called Rolling to Remember.
I did not know that.
Yeah, 2020. Mark it down. I'll come before.
You bet.
Okay.
Year.
You bet.
I'm the national first vice of the AMVETs.
Oh my God!
Now. So
yes, be sure you come.
By this time next year, I should be the national president.
Because that sound.
Unless they don't like me.
It's
pretty outstanding.
Oh my God! It stops your heart.
When we do the prayer at the north lot of the Pentagon parking lot, and we do Pledge of Allegiance, America the Beautiful, national anthem, and then all right, fire them up.
Right.
And when you hear,
God, love it.
20, 30, 40,
I've never
bikes.
been there to see it, but just even seeing a video of it with the headphones on, it's
man,
it's a pretty cool event, and it's a short ride, but it is
it's okay.
It's really cool. All the streets are lined with people. They're waving flags. It's a huge.
All right, so getting back to
smoke over vets.
No, don't get ahead of me. Okay, he does that. That's his job. Well, I was out. I live right off of Manchester Road and Sulphur Spring. That's where I live down there.
I got you.
I was on Saturday. It was a Saturday morning. I was out and I was riding down Manchester Road, and I see this one. I think it was no, it wasn't the Gettigers. It was one of those strip malls though. Mm-hmm. And I see a bunch of bikes, and I said, "These guys are up to something. I'm gonna go find out right now."
Yeah.
So I pulled in, and this big burly guy with a big old beard. I said, "Who you guys helping today?" He goes, "There's bikers for babies." I said, "Of course it is. Of course it is.
Sure, bikers for babies."
I mean, you guys are always doing something for someone. The videos I love on YouTube is the kid that gets picked on at school and gets bullied. They go and they bring the kid to school on a Harley.
Yeah.
That nobody screws with that kid anymore. Am I right?
He has friends.
and Paul, before you give the information again, you had a question for us about Woosh.
Oh, yes.
So I'm an avid listener.
Yeah.
And, being a child that grew up in the 80s, when somebody said whoosh, it kind of meant, oh, that went over their head. They didn't get it or they're a dummy.
That's fair.
That's fair, yeah.
Whoosh. And I hear you guys and I'm like,
why do they do that? Why do those idiots do that?
These guys are weird.
So, Ken, it's all yours. What do we do?
I was getting clips like I normally did for Joe Biden, which there are a million of them. And, I have to get them almost every single day when Joe Biden was president. And he would say some really crazy things like this.
If that's what is whoosh.
Okay. I mean,
what the hell is that?
We don't know what that means, but I thought, okay, this is gold because I can put it on the air, and play it.
If that's what is whoosh.
Right. So
what's he trying to say?
Vic and I were talking one day and I said, Vic, can you hear anything inside of this? And then we just took, I guess, that one little piece.
Whoosh.
And people started to Vic, greet each other.
Yeah, it's part of the vernacular of the people who listen to this show.
It's like whoosh, my brother.
Instead of saying good morning, it's like whoosh, my brother.
Whoosh. I dig that.
And it's like a ciao or it's like a aloha. That's the way I try to equate it. Aloha, whoosh.
Either way, goodbye or hello.
It's it's a patriotic version of aloha, I think.
You know what?
So you happy with that answer?
I love that answer. That's whoosh. Whoosh.
All right. West County smoking for Veterans Barbecue Bash at Clancy's, which is on Old State Road.
On the corner, yep.
You can't miss it, man. Manchester Road, if you're going west, left on Old State, and it's right there. Great food, great people, obviously, and some adult beverages.
A few hundred.
A few.
Well, we cannot thank you enough.
Yeah,
for
Paul.
coming in.
I appreciate you guys for allowing me to come in and talk about it.
Yep.
We'll be helping. We help veterans every week in the community.
And be sure you remind me again in the chat box tomorrow to give it another plug, okay?
I will.
Yeah,
I've been pretty good at that.
And by the way, he hangs out with Mayor Colonel Joe Adams.
Oh my goodness!
I wouldn't say hang out with him.
You know him.
You know him.
I know him.
You know what he's capable of.
I know what he's. No, I didn't see nothing.
Nothing.
Exactly right.
That's the way. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next, I have some thoughts on abortion. I had a little epiphany.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday, which I want to talk about that in Amendment 3, and also, Ken, if I send you a picture, like a photo, can you put it on the stream?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that because every once in a while, something hits you, right? Something just grabs you. It's like our little painting in the coffee think
Yes.
that guy getting the espresso while he's strap hanging. I saw a photo that hit me so hard.
Okay.
I want to put it up.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
All right, we'll do that next on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. Number one for live and local conservative talk.
Thanks,
and number
Paul.
one with the bikers, I hope. Oh, whoosh, my brother.
Whoosh, my brother.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. This is the real Kamala Harris.
Elizabeth Warren had a town hall last night, and she said that she thinks we should do away with the Electoral College. Is that? Do you agree with that?
I think that I'm open to the discussion. I mean, there's no question that the popular vote has been diminished in terms of making the final decision about who's the president of the United States, and we need to deal with that. So I'm open to the discussion.
The real Kamala Harris on the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
Woosh.
Taking my call.
News, analysis, opinion.
Yes, I just want you to know what a breath of fresh air you people are.
1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Hi, it's Dr. Randy Tobler, along with daughter Sammy Tobler Gregory, a team member here at our family-owned Body of Health Direct Primary Care Practice. Sammy, what are patients telling you about their experience at Body of Health?
I can't tell you how many patients I've had come to me and tell me they just so appreciate getting to sit across the table with their doctor and chat about whatever's going on with their healthcare needs for however long they need.
Want to learn more about healthcare the way it ought to be? Schedule a discovery call at bodyofhealth.com. That's bodyofhealth.com.
Hey, Columbo here for Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood is made from 100% pure Missouri oak and hickory, so you're cooking with the best and supporting local industry and a local business all at once. There's over 100 area Rockwood retailers. Find yours at rockwoodcharcoal.com.
Ready to explore the underwater world? Great American Divers, your veteran-owned local scuba center, is making waves with incredible offers. Get $50 off any new open water course when you mention News Talk STL. And mark your calendars. November 8th and 9th is our massive fall sale. Everything in store on sale, plus our huge swap and sale event for quality used gear. Daddy certification, equipment repairs, we got it all. Our experienced staff is passionate about teaching, and we're the only center in the area with our own indoor heated pool. Visit GreatAmericanDivers.com today. Great American Divers, where adventure runs deep.
News Talk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the St. Louis radio airways for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Money Radio 3 times every weekend on News Talk STL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com. You could also reach Doug at 844-6766. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
St. Louis's new choice for conservative talk.
Thank you for the opportunity to let me vent here.
Live and local.
Way to be, guys. 1019 all the way.
This is News Talk STL.
I am home.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Be cool, honey bunny. Be cool.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? I like Paul.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
A lot of energy, man. Very passionate.
And a very respectful, good, great guy. He's a biker. You know how this, I can't put it where you worded it. We love bikers on this show.
Oh, we do.
And we really do. Okay. So I sent you a photo in your email. Okay. And we'll get there in a second. First of all, I was thinking about Amendment 3, right? And this station is all about vote no on 3, right? And current Lieutenant Governor Kehoe was in the studio this morning.
Yeah.
And he thanked us as a station for being no on 3, right? I'm sure you walked in and saw our no on 3 sign that we have over there. And this red state of ours, Missouri, was always a pro-life, oh my God, 100% pro-life state. right? And now this amendment that's on the ballot, and this is why, Ken, when we bitched about the initiative petition reform in the legislature here in Missouri, I thought I turned that off. Sorry. That's why it's so important to not have initiative petitions, because they're not honest about it. Number one, right?
Right.
If you go to Walmart and there's some guy with a clipboard and says, "Hey, do you want to sign a petition for women's health?" That's how they word it, women's health. We've talked about, why do they call it reproductive health? You're not reproducing at all. You're doing the exact opposite of reproducing. So, don't be so Ed-stoity about it, okay? And so now it's on the ballot, Amendment 3, abortion. So I was thinking, I asked my wife about this too, but Ken, I want your undivided attention here for this question I'm going to ask you. Besides rape, incest, and health of the mother, what would be any other reason to get an abortion? Oops, I got pregnant. I don't want daddy to find out.
That's generally, I think, probably one of the reasons.
Right? I mean, I just don't want to have a baby. Then close your legs. Start there.
Well, there's a lot of other things you can do.
Of course.
Right.
But my point is, why have we sent this as the number? If you're voting this Tuesday and abortion is the only issue you're voting on,
yeah,
I actually feel sorry for you.
It's really sad. And here's what I think about whenever I hear someone say that. They're saying, "I'm going in for one vote. I'm a one issue voter, and it's abortion." Okay, well, I think to myself, okay, look what you have. Look what you're up against here. You have a Kamala Harris potential administration, so you'll have a destroyed country. Your family's destroyed. Your home's gone, but you got abortion.
Right.
You got your abortion, though.
Right.
I mean, that just doesn't even make any sense. And not only that, Vic, but these things are in place right now. They're intact right now. If a woman is threatened with her life, they're going to allow her to get an abortion. That's not these ads that are running that I've even seen. I even saw one this morning, I even saw one this morning.
Grammar doesn't count on the show.
No, not this morning. I'm just so tired.
Me too.
But I saw one, and it said that I want to be able to live if I'm in trouble in my pregnancy. Okay, you will under this current ruling.
That was the three things that I said, right?
Yes.
Rape, incest, health of the mother. If something
Yes.
happens to the mother, fine.
Yes.
So then I said, then what would be any other reason you want to get an abortion? And if it's I just don't want to have this baby, that's bullshit
stuff,
right?
Right.
It is, and I don't know. It just, and it got me to thinking, if abortion is the only thing that you're voting on, and then so my wife said to me, "Well, some people will say, well, maybe I can't afford a baby." Okay, vote in Donald Trump, and you will.
That's one part of it, but there are other assistance programs that are not abortion related.
Right.
You've got Thrive. You've got a whole bunch of
absolutely. But
Acorn. I mean, there are not Acorn. There are a bunch of them
over the long term, right? I mean, you're getting married. You're going to be married for a long time, right?
Right.
And you can't afford to have a baby now. Well, let's start by voting in Donald Trump next Tuesday, and then he'll help you have more money so you can afford that baby, and then give you absolutely no excuse to have an abortion.
See, Vic, that's a great point, because I believe that you have these young people who are disenfranchised, and immediately they gravitate to the pink hair. They go crazy on the right, on the left, and they say, "Oh yeah, I am the X, Y, and Z, and my pronouns are the X, Y, and Z."
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, if you really go deeply, there's something there that I'm sure that most of them would love to have a great job, would love to have a family in the future, but they're so disenfranchised right now because especially they can't afford any of it.
Right.
So they're saying, okay, no, you know what? If I can't afford it, no one should have it.
Right. If you can't afford a baby, maybe Donald Trump can help.
I think he could.
And then there would be no excuse to have an abortion. Because if you have an abortion and you're using abortion as birth control, I can't think of any more of a low-life person that would do something like that.
Right.
And if you don't want to have an abortion because, oops, I don't want my daddy to find out, or dare I say, a woman gets pregnant, doesn't want her husband to find out.
Right.
I mean, it really struck me. And Donald Trump has said rape, incest, health of the mother, okay.
And he's always been for IVF. When did they decide that? See, this is the thing. The left will decide Donald Trump is X, Y, and Z as well, and they'll promote it that way, and the media will support it. Well, they said Donald Trump is against IVF. When did he ever say that? In fact, he said the exact opposite. He supported it when he was president.
Yeah, and IVF is the opposite end of the spectrum of abortion.
Right.
IVF is starting a life.
Yeah.
Abortion is ending a life. So I don't know. I just thought about that, and I wish I had thought about it when all this initiative petition talk was going on during the legislature. So we'll talk to Nick about that for next session, I guess, next row.
No, that's a good idea. And I hear you're pro-choice.
I am pro-choice.
Are you?
I'm for a woman's choice to choose adoption.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Annette did for my wife. Can you put that picture up?
That's what I was working on. You said you needed my.
I did need your undivided
Okay,
attention.
I'll work on that.
Okay.
I'm almost there.
How long is it going to take?
A couple minutes.
Okay. While Kenny's looking for a photo that I saw just the other day, and it hit me, it moved me. Okay, I guess you guys realize I'm an emotional kind of guy, right? I can look at, the one in our kitchen doesn't get me emotional. It's just really cool. And if I could describe it to you, it's a guy on his way to work, and he's taking the train, and the strap hangers, they hang onto that thing there so they don't fall down when the train goes. He's holding on to the strap. He's leaning out of the train car to get one last espresso out of the espresso machine that's standing there outside the train. So
it's up now.
Okay. So I was on, I don't know where I was on, X or something, and I saw a picture that just hit me so hard. And to the point where it almost gets me emotional. And it's got a caption, and the caption is, "Some people hear the music while others feel it." This picture looks pretty old, right, Ken?
Yeah, it's probably out of the 30s.
Right,
or 40s,
I was going to say
yeah.
exactly the 2 decades I was going to go,
Yeah.
30s and 40s. And there's a guy busking. Is that what you call it when you play out in the street like that?
Yeah.
So he's busking there. He's got his guitar case open. He's playing his guitar. And this little girl, how old do you think that little girl is?
She's probably 10.
10 years old.
Yeah.
And she's got her head back, her arms out, her foot up like she's dancing because she feels this guy's music.
Yeah.
And it just hit me, Ken. I don't know what it is.
No, I get it. I was looking at it while I was trying to put it up, and it does hit. It does hit you because all right, he comes from a different part of music where he's feeling it himself,
of course,
but in playing it.
Yeah.
She's feeling it because she feels the vibration. She
Yes.
loves the tone.
Yes.
She loves the way the notes are going together, and
Yes.
there's nothing negative about it. And she has her arms open, and she looks like she's saying, "You know what? There's not a care in the world."
That's right, Ken, because music is playing.
Right.
Right. So can you leave that up for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Some people hear the music while others feel it. And that little girl right there, man, she is feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll leave that up.
I want to get this picture without the caption and frame it and put it in my house.
Nice.
Maybe with the caption. Maybe with the caption.
I'm sure you can find that somewhere.
I love this little girl. I have no idea who she is. She could be dead by now if this is the 30s and the 40s, right? But boy, at that moment in time, there was nothing happier in her life than listening to this guy play music. Go to our stream on Rumble or on Facebook and check it out. Am I over?
No, I love it. I think it's a great idea. It's really it's very impressive the way she's into the music. Yeah.
She's feeling it, Ken.
Yeah.
She's feeling it.
And on YouTube and X and Instagram, all over. We're just get on the stream with us.
Yeah. Why not take advantage of all this handsomeness?
Yeah.
In the studio. Right, Ken?
Even with my messed up eye.
Ken got in a fight. Did you get in a fight?
Nope.
No. All right. So election night is now less than a week away.
Right.
6 days away. My God. My stomach, I got agita from this election. We're going to have election day coverage, election night. Tony Colombo and I will be here in the studio with you, all brought to you by Harry J. Steakhouse in Moscow Mills and Piccadilly Palace in Union. On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Live and be well.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Pizza, baby. 16 is my limit on Schnitzengruben. You know what's crazy? When I hear you play that, live and be well. Because if you say it that way, then you're saying it totally like a Jew, right? Go live and be well.
Right.
You have to have an inflection just the right way.
Right.
I think of Kathleen.
Yeah.
Which makes me think of Blazing Saddles.
Right.
Which makes me
Of
think
course.
Pizza, baby. Okay. Let's get serious here, Ken. Stop screwing around.
All right, you
hear me?
You too.
All right. Southern Armory, your place to get firearm and accessory. What are you doing to me? Ammunition, accessories, everything you need at Southern Armory at 9901 Watson Road. You know, we talk about Southern Armory because if you're going to get a firearm, which we suggest, you know, to protect yourself, your family, your property, it's absolutely the number one thing to do, just in case. You know, you buy a firearm for those reasons and you hope you never use it. Well, you might have to. So learn about basic safety training. There's so much to learn about having a firearm. You're not like Yosemite Sam being the roughest, toughest hombre this side of the Rio Grande. You got to learn how to use your firearm the right way and do it safely. So do that at Southern Armory at 9901 Watson Road. They also have Wise food buckets, 25-year shelf life on those, and cheaper than you can buy them online. 9901 Watson Road, Southern Armory, southernarmory.com, southernarmory.com.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
We're already litigating election 2024. Zach Smith of Heritage to discuss at 5:20. Senator Ben Brown on why you should vote for Amendment 7.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
The Herzog Tomorrow Foundation provides private school tuition scholarships through Missouri's new Most Scholars program to cover the cost of accessible, high-quality schooling.
Hi, this is Myella Esser with the Herzog Tomorrow Foundation. Our private school tuition scholarships wouldn't be possible without the support of generous Missouri taxpayers. If you're a Missouri taxpayer interested in redirecting your tax dollars and sending them to Missouri students in need of a better education, please contact me at herzogmostscholars.org.
Better education for students creates a better tomorrow for all. Learn how you can help provide a better education for Missouri students at herzogmostscholars.org. That's herzogmostscholars.org. Also, sign up for The Lion, an initiative of the Herzog Foundation that carries articles covering a wide range of issues facing American families and culture. herzogfoundation.com. That's herzogfoundation.com.
Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are ignoring kitchen table issues. Liberals are fighting to defund the police, indoctrinate kids, open the border, and put boys in girls' sports. I'm Ann Wagner. The people I talk to know better. Let's work for what matters most. Lower costs, parents' rights, and safer streets.
Ann Wagner is working for common sense solutions to the problems you face. She's challenged the big government machine in Washington and delivered a tax cut for middle-class families. Ann has stood with parents to defend their right to make decisions on the upbringing, education, and care of their children, protecting our kids from radical leftist indoctrination. And as crime rises, Ann has worked to protect our safety by fighting efforts to defund our brave police.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message. So pull up a chair, and together we'll turn the tables on Washington.
Fighting for your family. Ann Wagner for Congress. Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
Hey O'Fallon, it's Lauren from Dirty Dan's Pizza and Wings, your woman-owned, locally operated slice of heaven. We're serving up the best pizza and wings in town, made with the freshest ingredients and a whole lot of love. Check out our mouth-watering menu and daily specials. Dine in or carry out, the choice is yours. Join our loyalty program at dirty-dans.com for extra perks and mention News Talk STL for $5 off purchases $25 or more weekdays from 11 to 3. Dirty Dan's Pizza and Wings, where every bite is a local delight.
Sundays at 5 on News Talk STL.
All your hard-earned tax dollars and mine are going to fund illegal aliens who come across the border penniless, jobless, skillless, and they're given a cell phone an identity, and a cash stipend every month.
Mark McCloskey on fire.
That beats your Social Security income if you should have the good nature to work your ass off your whole life and retire.
Mark McCloskey on fire. Sundays at 5 on News Talk STL. Brought to you in part by Modern Weapon Systems in Fenton. This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Smitty Werbin Jagerman Jensen.
True international effort to pressure. Smitty Werbin Jagerman Jensen.
He doesn't involve our institution.
I just...
She knows so long as she was...
On News Talk STL.
You know what, Ken? Oh, Vic. I want to make a documentary movie. Will you make it with me?
Yeah, it'd be great.
I want to go out and find out who these people were in this picture.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Who the guy is playing guitar and who that little girl is.
Now, I like that sort of thing because when we went to Mammoth Cave, they had these signatures on the ceilings from people from the 1830s. And I actually grabbed a name and I investigated and found actually the daughter of, not the daughter, the great-great-great-granddaughter, I think it was, something like that.
Of
the person who wrote his name,
Wow.
Dr. Abram.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So we can do it.
Yeah, we can do it.
Right?
We'll find out.
Some people hear the music while others feel it. Unbelievable. All right. Sorry. I got to get my mind off this picture, but don't take it down.
No.
Okay. So are we really on the precipice of defeating identity politics? There's one guy who says yes. He's Andre Barnes from the National Center for Public Policy Research and, of course, the great Project 21. Andre, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing good, man. It's good to have you with us. Identity, first of all, can you give us a history on when this identity politics kind of reared its ugly head?
Well, not particularly. We've seen it. We've seen it, a lot of it since the 60s. The 60s is where we are starting to see the shift, and it's just gotten worse as we've progressed through the years. And what I've noticed is that recently there's been a shift away. Basically, within the last decade, we've seen a shift where Democrats are having less and less and less of the black vote, and they're starting to panic now, as we're just a week out from the election. So, what is the shift about? I believe the shift is about these feckless politicians that are visiting Black Americans when it's election time, but then not producing any results while they're in term, while they're supposed to be serving.
Did we lose him?
No.
Because
Did you?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out, Andre. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I do. Hear you perfectly now. Continue right where you left off.
Okay. No, I was saying that these feckless politicians have been in a situation where they visit Black Americans and coach them to vote for them, get them excited. And then when they are actually serving, they don't do anything. There are no policies that really support their communities. So there's been this drop off, and people are panicking now. And I'm not surprised about the drop. And I think that if they don't make any adjustments, it's going to get worse in the next election.
I'll tell you what, it's hard for me, and I get what you're saying. The identity politics goes back to the 1960s, but I think it hit its peak with the guy who was supposed to be the post-racial president, and that was Barack Obama. And I've never seen anybody be more divisive by race than Barack Obama.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We saw he had 90 or 95% support from the Black community. And what did they get?
Mm-hmm. I go back to this. Sometimes I say things so many times, Andre, the audience, I think, gets bored by it. But there's a movie called Bulworth where Warren Beatty plays a senator who was done. He didn't want to be a senator anymore. And he goes to this black church in South Central LA. And this black woman stands up and says, well, what about you were going to come to our neighborhood and fix up our neighborhood and help our neighborhood? And Senator Bulworth says, yeah, you know, we just told you what you wanted to hear. And then we went back to D.C. and we didn't think about you again. That's like,
that's right.
It's the truth, right?
And Andre, you know, this whole identity politics thing is kind of like fast food, where it's, you know, it tastes good at first, but it has no substance to it. Doesn't do it has no nutritional value. You know what I'm saying? I mean, identity politics. Obama, you know, he changed for 8 years, and then now you have such a pushback on Obama when he came out and started shaming black men primarily, but men in general, to vote for Kamala Harris, and there's a lot of blowback because of what he said.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, when he was doing it, people were really upset after what they heard because, as Nina Turner mentioned, why isn't he scolding any other group? Because Kamala Harris is down with Hispanics as well.
Yeah,
they're not lining up to vote for her either. So why are we the only ones getting scolded? It's because he thinks that Black Americans are just in the pocket for Democrats, and since they're starting to move away, they're bringing in the cavalry. They're asking Obama. They're asking all these stars to try to rein us in, and I don't think it's going to work.
I don't think it's going to work either, and I think people are seeing through it, and I think even people who were liberals for so long, and plenty of black people. And you know what, Andre? Your colleagues there at Project 21, Donna Jackson, Melanie Collette, I mean, the list goes on and on. We have gotten so much great information from them that Donna Jackson has testified in front of Congress, for God's sakes, you know? So I think the message is getting out there, and I think Donald Trump is going to carry a good percentage of the black vote, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that what people underestimated was how important immigration is to American people. And when they dumped all of these illegal immigrants in black neighborhoods and then didn't give them any tools to deal with the situation, they thought that they were just going to sit there and take it. But
all right, I think
see if something different can be done. Hello?
No, yeah, you're cutting in and out really, really badly, Andre.
Sorry.
But it's okay. We appreciate you coming on. I mean, it really is a problem that you should vote for somebody, because if it were turned around, if somebody said, vote for him because he's white, wow, that would be a racist comment, right? But Barack's like, vote for somebody because she's black. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All right, Andre, keep up the good fight. Say hi to everybody at Project 21 for us. Andre Barnes, you must have an opinion piece or something on the Project 21 website, right, about this?
Yes, I do. I wrote an opinion, a quote about identity politics, and basically I said that, you know, we had black faces in high places through identity politics, but we weren't getting any results. And this is why people are leaving. This is why people are looking elsewhere politically.
I wish it would happen here in this city.
Yeah.
St. Louis has had a Democrat mayor since 1949, and this city has become a
stuff hole.
So, Andre, keep up the good fight. Thank you so much for being with us, okay?
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
All right.
Take care, Andre.
All right.
Don't you cuss on this here radio.
Oh, sorry. My gosh, I'm sorry. But he's right, Ken. And you know what? We're right, too, in what we say about, you know, Barack Obama and,
You know, I get it. You know, it was, in fact, when he first came on board, my mother-in-law was like ecstatic. You know, she had a picture of a Barack Obama in the kitchen. I mean, you know, it's just change, you know, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so empty. It is so empty when you don't have anything behind it. When you have nothing behind it to support, then it's not. There's nothing to it.
All right. So, I sometimes I love when we're the only show that says a certain thing. Okay. So last night or yesterday or last evening, Kamala Harris did a speech in what they call the ellipse there, right in front of the White House, same place where Donald Trump told people to peacefully and patriotically speak their mind. Well, she did her speech there last night. And guess what, Ken? On September 13th, 1926, the Ku Klux Klan had a rally right there.
Oh. Not just at the name of that place, but at that very location.
At that very location.
See, now that's something wrong with that.
Now, I agree. There are a bunch of KKK people.
Was that during the Klan bake?
You got me on that one.
It could have been, because that was 1926. The Klan bake was the time where they had the Democrat National Convention, was called the Klan bake because the Klan was dominating it.
Right. So, they got on Trump for having a rally at Madison Square Garden.
I love that. I didn't know that, Vic, and no one's talking about it.
Nobody's talking about that. The KKK had a rally right where Kamala, the racist, was on September 13th, 1926.
She's a racist.
Stick that up your...
She's a racist because of that.
That's right. She is. She's a racist. And she also thinks that John Henry signed the Declaration of Independence.
That's right.
We're back after the news.
Woosh.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on NewstalkSTL 1019. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Republican Adam Schnelting is a husband, father, and soldier. As an Army combat engineer, Schnelting trained to fight for us, trained to solve problems, and that's just what he's been doing. As state representative, Adam fought to keep men out of our daughters' sports and bathrooms. He voted to cut our taxes and fully fund our schools. And his tough on crime stance has earned him the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of Police. November 5th, vote Adam Schnelting for State Senate, and he'll get the job done for St. Charles County.
Paid for by Schnelting from Missouri, Mike Summer, Treasurer.
Tim Jones here for my favorite St. Louis Sports Bar and Grill experience, the go-to spot of Johnny's Hideout. Johnny's Hideout featuring over 40 big screen TVs to watch all the great games this college and NFL season. Awesome food specials every single day that I absolutely love. Bike nights, classic cars on Wednesdays, live music every weekend, and a fantastic time to visit the gorgeous Sunset Patio. Located just 10 minutes from 270 in Gravois, open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. onwards. All the information you need to know at jhideout.com. That's jhideout.com. Johnny's Hideout in High Ridge.
Missouri, your voice matters.
Jobs and the economy are the most important issues in the coming election.
I think we need some kind of change.
The Farmers Co-op Old Town Country Store and Newstalk STL remind you that November 5th, you have the power to shape our state and nation's future.
My vote counts.
Get out to vote November 5th, because the future is in your hands.
Everybody has the right to vote.
I do vote because I want to matter.
Get out to vote. Brought to you by the Farmers Co-op Old Town Country Store, Joe Bacardi's, and Senior Memorial Life.
Are you sitting on hidden treasure? Manchester Coin and Jewelry wants to turn your valuables into cash. We are Missouri's premier gold buyers and jewelry specialists. With years of expertise, we offer top dollar for your coins, antiques, precious metals, and collectibles. From gold and silver to clocks and jewelry, we buy it all. Don't let your treasures collect dust. Let Manchester Coin and Jewelry give you the best value. Visit online at buyingvaluables.net or come see him today at 141 in Manchester and tell him Newstalk STL sent you.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is Newstalk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Tower from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It is a big win for election integrity in the state of Virginia.
The Supreme Court has allowed Virginia to resume its purge of voter registrations. It's a step the state says is aimed at keeping non-citizens from casting ballots. The justices granted an emergency appeal from Virginia's Republican administration led by Governor Glenn Youngkin. The justices acted on the appeal after a federal judge found that the state had illegally purged more than 1,600 voter registrations in the past 2 months. Bob Agnew reporting.
For Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, today is a busy day on the campaign trail.
Harris will campaign in Raleigh, North Carolina, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Madison, Wisconsin, while Trump takes the stage in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, before a rally in Green Bay with former Packers quarterback Brett Favre. At a rally in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Tuesday night, Donald Trump railed against Vice President Kamala Harris, saying the country can't afford another 4 years with a Democrat at the helm.
Kamala has embarrassed us. She doesn't have what it takes.
Harris pledged to put country over party and self in a speech with the White House backdrop.
I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to make your life better.
I'm Jennifer King.
The government reports the economy grew at a 2.8% annual clip July through September. Later in the week, we'll get the lowdown on the job market.
Economists surveyed by the data from FactSet believe Friday's jobs report will show that just 120,000 jobs were added to the economy in October. That's a decent number, but it's less than half of September's robust 254,000 gain. Economists estimate that Hurricanes Helene and Milton, combined with the ongoing Boeing machinist strike, helped reduce hiring last month by a...
And that report from correspondent Donna Warder. Wall Street's higher, the Dow up 140. Townhall.com.
Hey, folks, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at the Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word prepare to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text prepare to 989898. That's prepare to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Discover little-known strategies that could be the difference between choosing the care you deserve or having someone else decide it for you. Get a free copy of Chris's book at serenityltc.com. From the Michael's Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Squeezing in one more really warm day before a Halloween weather shake-up. A high of 85 this afternoon. South winds gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. The evening will be dry and warm, but rain and thunderstorms move in after midnight, probably closer to 4 or 5 in the morning in the St. Louis metro, down to 64 for the low. Rain wraps up by 10 a.m., then we clear out and cool down. Should be near 60 by trick-or-treat time. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Vic Porcelli. That guy over there, that's Ken Williams. He's the dude. And we've covered a lot of ground here today.
Yeah.
I'd like to run some of my theories with our next guest. Are you ready for this?
We're ready.
Former Speaker of the House.
You just proved why you left-wing loons are so insane.
Y'all ready for this?
Tim Jones.
Woosh, my speaker, how are you?
I am fantastic. I'm feeling the music
Yes.
on this double whoosh, dry hump day.
It's dry.
It is?
Yeah. Still haven't found where we dry hump. Nobody told us when we got here.
Well, we do
So,
it here on Hump Day.
When you said you felt the music, is that what was that referring to the picture that I put up on the thing?
Well, of course, I hang on your every word. Don't you know that?
I hope so. I just there's something about I'm gonna find this and I'm gonna frame it, and Kenny and I are gonna do a documentary film just on this picture. We're gonna find who that guy is playing guitar and who that little girl is who is feeling that music, man. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It was you were painting a visual picture for us, Vic, all of us out here in listener land.
Well, thank you. All right, so if you hang on every word, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to run something by you that I said earlier in the show, that beyond rape, incest, and health of the mother, what other reason could there possibly be to get an abortion?
You know, we are in existential times, right? There's an existential crisis. And Vic, this has less to do with abortion and the transgender cult, which are all very important topics to discuss. But the left is always up to something else, right? Right? You and Ken talk about that all the time. What they say on face value is typically the opposite of what they're actually doing. And in addition to that, even some of their most nefarious, demonic death cult prerogatives, like abortion on demand, like chemically castrating and surgically mutilating perfectly healthy children, and so on and so forth. What is that all about, right? Like why has $30 million, guys, $30 million, why has $30 million flowed into the state of Missouri to turn Missouri from a pro-life state to an abortion on demand, transgender, super right cult state? It's not just about the ends. It's a means to an end, right? Those are not the ends. Those are the means to the end. What is behind all of this? The idea that the left-wing liberal lunatics, the global elitists, they believe that human beings are bad. I think you guys addressed this not that long ago. They hate human beings. Yep. They hate the human race. This is all about their idea that humans are bad. We're carbon-creating creatures, and therefore we need to eradicate most of us from the planet, except for the super duper elitists that will be left to rule in their place. They really want to create a real life Pan Am here on Earth. This is the Hunger Games in action and motion. We always talk about, if the Democrats get elected again, they're going to start destroying the country. They've been destroying the country for the last several decades. We have had Democratic presidents for 12 out of the last 16 years. And Donald Trump has simply stopped them in their tracks. He needs to be reelected so we can start reversing some of this damage as well. They hate human beings. They want to depopulate the planet. It's all part of this Green New Deal delusion that they have. And that's what abortion on demand and the transgender cult is. Because as you say, Vic, there's no reproductive choice here or reproductive rights.
The opposite.
It's the opposite. Right. It's to end reproduction. What do you do when you abort babies? You end reproduction.
Right.
What do you do when you transgender, castrate, and mutilate children? You end reproduction. It's all about terminating the human race. We need more people on this planet. Thank you, Elon Musk. Yep. Not less.
And Barry White.
Yes.
So again, getting back to what I was saying though, Tim, if not for rape or incest or health of the mother, I want to get an abortion because I don't know. I don't want to have a baby. Really? I mean, that's one of the most disgusting ways to live, I think.
Yeah, and look, the instances of rape and incest are always held up by the left when they're arguing for exceptions as like that's every abortion. Right. It is statistically an extremely, extremely, extremely small amount. I'm not belittling it, but they act like that's every abortion. Everybody who's getting abortion has been raped or is a victim of incest. Good grief! If that's the case, we've got bigger problems than we even know. But those are infinitesimal, small statistical numbers. But they use that as an excuse because they want abortion to be available on demand. Yeah. They want abortion to be available all 9 months of the pregnancy and maybe thereafter. They want abortion to be used willy-nilly as birth control because there's two things going on here. It's the demonic death cult that I was talking about, and it is the hospital industrial complex. They make so many millions and billions of dollars off of abortions and transgender surgeries. It's nothing more than a hard, cold, transactional choice for them.
Absolutely agree. Thank you so much, Tim, because I knew you would crystallize my thoughts in one quick and easy thing. All right, so breaking news right now. The United States Supreme Court has their ruling on Virginia's voter rolls, and they have voted that non-citizens can't vote.
I thought the left said that non-citizens weren't voting in our election. You know what this whole drama has proven? Non-citizens are trying to vote in our elections, right?
Exactly.
And it's proven the left wrong once again, because they're wrong on everything. It's proven once again that they want non-citizens to vote. So that's where everybody needs to take a step back about this. We are litigating. Can you believe this? We are litigating over whether non-citizens should be voting in U.S. presidential elections. I thought we all agreed, left and right, Democrat and Republican, that should not be happening. And the Democrats keep saying it's not happening. It is happening, gentlemen. There are certain jurisdictions in this country, certain municipal jurisdictions, California, New York has tried it, and some others, where they allow non-citizens to vote in local elections. Today, it's going to be local elections. Tomorrow, it's going to be the presidential. And by taking this case to the Supreme Court, the leftists in Virginia have admitted that they know that non-citizens are voting in our presidential elections and that they want them to vote in our elections. These people, as I said earlier, they're not trying to destroy the country. They are destroying the country.
They are. Mr. Speaker, are you able to take a question from a listener?
Yes, absolutely.
We have Lincoln County Willie on the phone. Hiya, Willie.
Hey, Vic, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, baby.
Hey, we're on the home stretch, neck and neck, but we're gonna pull away.
Yeah.
And we're gonna right the wrongs in this country.
So what was specifically on your mind, Willie?
This abortion thing, there are so many young couples who can't have children in this country that would love to have a newborn baby.
Yeah.
So there is an alternative to abortion that I think a lot of these clinics should be promoting.
I completely agree. Mr. Speaker, what do you think?
Yeah, I could not agree more. Why is it always with the left and the it's hard to call them mainstream, the left stream media, the legacy corrupt corporate media? God, I hate them. And I try not to hate anybody, but the media has done more, the national media, not us, the media. I'm talking about the corporate corrupt media, the CNNs,
when you say
the MSNBCs.
Tim, when you say legacy Pfizer media, it's Pfizer promoted media. Those are the national media that we're talking about.
Yes, they really have been trying hard in collusion. The Dems used to love that word until it was used against them. The big tech, big government, big media has done more damage to this nation in the last 2 decades than I think has been done in the previous 2 centuries. And it's because they hate America. Most media outlets they're 99.9 on the national level, 99.9% left-wing liberal lunatics. And you know what? I'm sure we don't agree with him on much of anything, but God bless Bezos for standing up, for waking up, smelling the coffee. It may have been out of personal self-interest, but I don't really care anymore. I don't care what people's motives are. Just do the freaking right thing. And as the caller there said, why don't we promote a culture of life versus a constantly promoting a culture of death?
Everybody, I think, listening to the show right now would agree with that. Here's the problem, okay? You want to have some great adoption. There's so many great adoption options out there, but then daddy would have to find out that you're pregnant, and we can't have that.
It all starts with politics is downstream from culture.
Yep.
And why do we have so much violence in this country? Because of culture.
Yep.
Why do we have the need why people believe there's a need to have abortion on demand? Because of culture. Why do we not have an education system that provides not only a free, but a excellent public education for all kids? Well, because of our culture, right? It all starts in the home with parents at early ages, teaching kids some of the basics of life. Parents don't have to agree on everything. You've got some of the most, famous couples in the world that may have been diametrically opposed to each other politically, but they could probably agree on some basic tenets of our society. Believing in our Constitution, believing in our Bill of Rights, respecting law and order, not defunding the police, but defending the police, thanking and honoring our military men and women. Those are not Republican or Democrat ideals. Those are American ideals.
You're right.
And while Donald Trump is talking about wanting to be the president of all Americans, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and their surrogates are calling us all trash and garbage.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Because
I'm glad I did too.
Yes. We used to do a thing called Play Me Some Biden. And since he got, cooed out of the situation. We haven't heard much from him, but boy, he raised his ugly head yesterday and said this.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Okay, let's take this apart a little bit. Okay, Tim, you can do this with us.
Mm-hmm.
Can you play just the first few seconds, because this is so typical Joe Biden? Go.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware.
Stop. Did you hear what he started to say? Puerto Rico, where I'm from. Right?
Yeah, it's so. No, he does it with there. He does that with everything, Tim. Yeah, I was from there. Hey, guess what? They're launching a ship to Mars. Oh, yeah, I was there.
I was on Mars. So I can't believe that Puerto Rico and Delaware are the same place, Tim.
Well, they're just right down the block from each other, I guess.
Yeah.
What is he also? I think he has identified as a Jew.
Yeah.
As a Puerto Rican.
Greek.
As Greek.
He was born a poor black child.
Right, in the state of Alabama or Mississippi.
Which is right near Puerto Rico.
Joe Biden's not a nice guy. I'm tired of everybody saying he's a nice guy. He's an old cranky curmudgeon. Back in the day when he still had some of his wits about him, he was basically a virulent racist. And if you don't believe me on that, go back and watch Joe Biden's condescending, ridiculous interrogation of Clarence Thomas when Clarence Thomas was up for the Supreme Court. Joe Biden, white, middle-aged, liberal racist, could not stand the fact that a black man would dare to be a conservative, and even more so, dare to want to be a conservative Supreme Court justice. It defied the slow-moving cogs in his brain that would be such a thing. As you said earlier, Ken, the Democratic Party was the party of the KKK and is the party of the KKK. Always has been, always will be. They're the plantation racists living amongst us.
And Tim, you said something earlier about the media, right? The media is protecting Joe Biden from what he said. Now listen to this for a second and tell me what he said.
They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Okay, that's
half the country.
That is what he said, Tim. He said are his supporters. Now the media is taking the narrative given to them by the Obama administration apparatus, which is otherwise known as the Harris administration, and they're taking that and they're making it into something that Joe Biden kind of said. He said, well, it was that supporter comedian at the very beginning of Donald Trump's rally, which is not true. You just heard what he said, but they're saying once again, don't believe your lying ears and eyes, Tim.
That's exactly right. They've been covering for him up to this point. Look, the media is really, it's so funny. It depends on which source you listen to. Every once in a while, something sane comes out of CNN because they got Scott Jennings on there. He's actually a Republican consultant that I know from the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. He sometimes pours cold water on them. They got that guy, Harry Enton, who Dan Bongino was talking about yesterday. Harry Enton is their political analyst, and he's been kind of the canary in the coal mine over the last few weeks. So they're trying to not have complete and total egg on their face after this election. So there's a lot of CYA going out there because, guys, they know that Kamala Harris is a crappy candidate. They know that she's run a vacuous, vapid campaign, but they can't stand the thought of Donald Trump being back in the White House. So they're becoming schizophrenic in and of itself and in and of their own reporting. They know what may likely happen because of the crappy campaign of Kamala Harris, unless, they lie, cheat, and steal their way to another, quote, victory. But on the other hand, they don't want Donald Trump to be president. So they're like, you can really tell the torture going on behind their eyeballs every day is just such a sight to behold. I mean, Mika Brzezinski, I feel, is going to just spontaneously burst into flame on next Wednesday morning. If we know who the president. How ridiculous, guys. Vic, when you and I, Ken, when we were growing up, not that long ago, we had election day and we had the results on election night.
Yeah.
Now we have election day, election week, election month, election season, election year, and we just keep counting votes until we get the result that we want.
Tim, every single weekday at 4:00, the opening of the Tim Jones and Chris Arps show is your voice saying, do you remember it verbatim?
The more you remove elections from, what do I say? Something like the more you remove
Voting.
elections,
The further away,
the further away you move voting from election day, the more you have the opportunity to cheat,
to commit
steal,
fraud is how you say it.
rig,
But
commit fraud.
The thing is the left always says, well, there's no evidence of widespread fraud. I mean, how do we equate widespread? Pennsylvania's got a little identity ID problem, right?
We don't need to prove we don't need to prove widespread fraud. We don't need to prove fraud in the deep red plus 28 Donald Trump state of Montana. The Democrats aren't going to bother with Montana. You know what they're going to bother with states like Pennsylvania,
right,
with Philadelphia.
And that's
they're
going
to go into Michigan with Detroit. Systemic fraud. And that's really easy to prove because it happened because they had unauthorized, unfettered, no signature verification required voting in Pennsylvania. You're telling me that in universal mail-in voting, where you don't care who you send the ballots out to, whether they're on the voter rolls, alive or dead or not, and then you don't have any provisions to check the signatures when they come back. You're telling me that that's a pristine, perfect election? Bullshit.
Ooh, you did that right over his
Right
curse
over
word.
his-
That
I
was
know.
great.
Did.
And finally,
Very
Tim,
good.
I'm sure you heard us say this right before we went to break a little bit ago, that Trump got trouble from the left because at Madison Square Garden there was a Nazi rally in 1929, but at the Ellipse there where Kamala Harris did her speech was a KKK meeting in 1926. Huh. It's okay for them.
Nazi rally at the Ellipse last night.
Yep.
Yeah. Versus
Tim.
peaceful and patriotically.
Yeah. Tim Jones, Chris Arps, every day, 4:00. Whoosh, my speaker.
Double whoosh,
Whoosh.
Dry Hump Wednesdays,
Whoosh.
my garbage MAGA brothers.
Somebody made a comment like that in the box that we'll get to next. Thanks, Tim Jones. We'll listen to you this afternoon.
Thanks, Tim.
Kenny plays Jessica. Sorry, buddy. Kenny plays Jessica by the Allman Brothers Band. Anytime you hear this song, it's for my wife. Just assume it's dedicated to my wife.
There you
Is
go.
that fair?
Yep.
Chatbox and something else. Chatbox, I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, we'll remember Terry Garr, who passed away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was great. And we have a little clip from her to start off the next break. And we'll do the chat box promise. Jessica. I'm 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Timmy.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
All right. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. The Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway. They are Rodney and Jen Wallner, collectively a great husband and wife team, great conservatives, just great people, great benevolent people. And they have the best system going on right now to sell your house. If you've been talking with your husband or your wife about selling the home, guess what? Rodney and Jen already thought about it. What are they, mind readers? Well, no, but they do have so many approved home buyers ready to go, ready to roll, ready to pull the trigger that they will guarantee you to get an offer, and they might even sell your house before it hits the market. Plus, they sell 15 times more homes per year than your typical realtor. And Rodney and Jen get together and team up to be the great team, because if you call the number 314-810-SOLD, one of those two will answer the phone. How about that? That's in Missouri or Illinois. It's the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
Tony Colombo here for Zero Res, the cleaning pros we trust with our home, and the team bringing you a great offer for the month of October. Book a cleaning this month and mention the Colombo special, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. Plus, you can take $75 off an air duct cleaning. Don't let the germs hiding in your home haunt your family. Call Zero Res now and take advantage of this scary good deal. Just mention the Colombo special when you call 314-474-2020 or when you book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
You know grit when you see it, and Robert Crumb's got plenty of it. A Navy veteran, Crump is steady, unshakable, always pushing forward for Missouri. Pro-Second Amendment, Crump knows you have the right to defend yourself, your family, and property against violent criminals. Like the mighty Mississippi, Crump doesn't waver. He stands firm to protect your freedoms. Send Robert Crump, Republican for State Senate District London, Jeff City. Strong, unyielding, fighting for you. Robert Crump.
Paid for by Crump for State Senate 2024. Chris Clark, Treasurer.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
The Allman Report.
Wednesday on the All Report, my friend Rick Pogue and Republicans make a last-ditch effort to derail Trump. It's the All Report, News Talk STL.
Jamie Allman. Weeknights at 8 on News Talk STL.
Woosh. Woosh.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about? China.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
As the minuteness of the parts formed a great hindrance to my speed, I resolved, therefore, to make the creature of a gigantic stature. Of course. That would simplify everything.
In other words, his veins, his feet, his hands, his organs would all have to be increased in size.
Exactly.
He would have an enormous Schwanzstücke.
He'd have an enormous Schwanzstücke. Kenny didn't know where that was going, and I like it that way. Another great line from that. So, Dr. Frankenstein, you got to say his name already, gets very upset.
Yes, yes.
Dr. Frankenstein's castle there has these gigantic door knockers, right?
Right.
And somebody knocks on the door, and he goes, "What knockers?" And Terry Gall goes, "Oh, thank you, doctor." Come on, Young Frankenstein.
From Young Frankenstein,
Yeah.
right?
He'd have an enormous Schwanzstücke. Ken.
Yeah.
Before we get to the chat box, I'm
Right.
sorry, I am obsessed. Can you put that picture back up there? Is that a
Oh,
problem?
yeah, no, not at all.
Just for fun, you know?
No, it's just a matter of switching it right now. It's going to be
All
up
right.
there in just a moment.
So Mama K, everybody at the station seems to know Mama K.
Yeah.
From the old place, I guess. You
Yeah,
guys know Mama K?
yeah.
So she on Twitter said to me, "Hi Vic, I really, really need that picture in my life of the little girl with the busking musician." And she found it.
Oh, good.
Yep. And I swear to God, I want to get this framed. I want to do a documentary film on just that picture. Guy busking there in the street with his guitar case open, and this little girl, legs apart, hands out, head back, just feeling the music.
And with today's AI, I can't see why you couldn't find something like that or find that. Like get a picture of this guy here, and they could go through a bunch of different things, algorithms, and find actually who that person is. I bet they could.
So now you open the door for another thing I want to do now. I want to find out who these people were, and then I want to recreate it.
Oh, AI.
Right? With AI.
That'd be really good.
I love it. Okay,
Yeah.
Chat box music maestro. Let's do it. We owe some chat box greetings. Let's start in Facebook. GMFFVH. Funny, the only garbage smell is coming from the Biden-Harris administration. You smell it?
Yeah. Oh, I do
Smell the
every
garbage?
day. Yeah.
Yeah, Barbara smells it. Kathleen says, good morning, everyone. Woosh, woosh. It's crazy how woosh has really truly become part of the vernacular. Kathleen says, back in the 70s, when we said whoosh, it meant we aimed for the basket and we got it in.
Oh, that's a swish.
I think that's swish.
That's all right. It's close.
It's okay. Close enough.
If I were to be on a basketball court back then and said whoosh, they would have said, oh, okay.
Oh, you listen to Vic, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
listen to Vic again. Good morning, fellow garbage freedom fighting Vic heads.
Got to add it. Got to add it.
Tom Lawson says, good Wednesday morning, freedom fighters. Scott says 15 minutes to vote this morning. In and out in 15 minutes.
Wow. It took me 2 hours yesterday. I'm not kidding.
David from Gutter Pros. Whoosh, my brothers. I got a new gun from Southern Armory last week. Great peeps. Piper out.
Yeah. Did you see if you saw Piper? She said, Piper out.
Piper out. Kristen went to vote. In line to vote at Wildwood City Hall. 9:16, done by 9:55.
Wow.
They kept that line moving. I think the Wildwood City Hall, too, is open Saturday from to vote 8 to 1, I want to say.
Okay.
So Saturday may be a good time. Get some coffee over there.
Just go over.
Over here, dear.
Over here, dear. South Carolina just ruled. I'm sorry, Supreme Court just ruled in Virginia favor to purge non-citizens from voter rolls. Ken, I remind you of a time we were talking to our Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft, and I asked him, well, only citizens voting, that's in the Constitution, right? And he chuckled and said, believe it or not, it's not.
Right. No. Because back when people were sane, they just took for granted the fact, well, nobody's going to have non-citizens vote. That's just craziness, right?
Ken, exactly. You couldn't have explained that any better. There was a day when non-citizens voting, it wouldn't even enter anybody's mind.
No.
Civilian or government.
No.
It's going to hell. I'm telling you right now, it's going to hell. All right, let's go over to the Rumble box, which is always on fire every day. The only ones hurt by school choice are public school indoctrinators and teachers' unions. Somebody said, screw them. I think that's done. And somebody said, yep. No left turn roundabout. Correction, left turn. What? What's that about?
I don't know.
Thanks, Ken. You've been helpful.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Yesterday, Joe Biden was committed once again to what Obama said about him. Never underestimate Joe's ability to
F things
up.
Right.
Everything Kamala said in her teleprompter speech yesterday was Ed Stoit. Ed Stoit said, Ed Stoit, please break it down one sentence at a time. She never misses. That's really true.
That is true.
Anything they say, I know is complete opposite.
And I'll say it again. I know the identity of Ed Stoit. Suffer not the leftist. All the lib turds ads are filled with lies.
They are.
Correct!
Keyhole is part of the reason we have to defend the unborn with this amendment. I think, Mike, Kehoe is totally behind Amendment 3, voting it down.
Right. Yeah, you could hear it. You could tell.
Not a fan of his adoption. That's the way I tell this all the time, but I didn't say it yet today, that my wife's birth mother, Annette, didn't abort Jessica, gave her up for adoption, or else I wouldn't have her.
Exactly right, Vic. And this is something that I always think of, too. Adopting a child is expensive. Why is it so expensive? Between like $20,000 and $50,000 to get a child that they have. I mean, come on now. I mean, you can make that a lot less expensive. And I think Trump mentioned that he would help assist that in some fashion at one point.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, all freedom-loving patriot Vic heads. It's double Whoosh Wednesday. Whoosh, whoosh.
Whoosh, whoosh.
What percentage of IVFs are being used to provide trans gay couples with children? And why can't those couples adopt babies that are already available? There you go, Ken.
Yeah, and make it cheaper.
And I'll say it again. Beyond rape, incest, and health of the mother, then the only reason, well, why are you getting an abortion? My father can't find out I was pregnant. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely a reason.
I don't want to have a baby.
That That's horrible.
That's disgusting. And how about let's see, what was it? It was I don't remember.
Well, what did that one lunatic say? A guy. I want to transgender into a woman just so I can have an abortion. You're insane. This is one thing we need to we've got to alert people to is mental health issues in this country.
I thought of the other thing. If you're pregnant because I can't afford to have a child right now, got a solution for you there too. Vote in Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He'll put more money in your pocket and you'll be able to raise a child.
Yeah, and it won't be on the state's dime.
Right. Do it yourself. Yes. Love Terry Garr. Love Terry Garr. We played a little clip from young Frankenstein when she says he'd have an enormous Schwanzstück. Obama is a Marxist and they divide by race. Yes, they do. Obama is a racist by default, if nothing else. I'm glad that the Netherlands are going after Bill Gates over the COVID jab. Did you know that, Ken? The Netherlands are going after Bill Gates?
Yeah.
I hope they convict him. FJB has always been a POS. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, I want to play something by Obama.
Hold on, I got two left, and then we're done.
Okay, go ahead.
Madison Square Garden isn't the same building, right? We talked about that. And the Klan was a Democrat Party construct. So, and then Ed Story says, Schooner Tuna. She was in Mr. Mom, too.
Yeah, Schooner Tuna.
What are we going to do?
I want to play this clip by Obama because it's based on one of the people that was posting in there and what he said. And we'll hear.
So to all the young people out there, as well as those of you who consider yourselves young at heart.
Pause.
I want you to stay angry.
Pause.
I want you to stay frustrated.
He wants people to stay angry and frustrated for very, very good reason, Vic, because they thrive on division. If they don't stay angry, then they're not going to be dividing. And that's what he needs. And he's angry right now because you've got people that Madison Square Garden. Trump was right. There was a lot of love in that room.
There was.
And it crossed all barriers, every single barrier. There was a different person in there for everyone.
And a lot of that love was directed right toward Melania Trump.
Yeah.
Who I love to death.
And the Democrats hated it. And that's why they came up with the Hitler thing.
Right. And she said, he's not Hitler.
He's not Hitler. I have to get a better version of that.
Yeah. It was good thinking on Tony's part.
It really was. But the version he sent me, I couldn't make it out very well.
All right. Let's go to break. Mark Harder is question mark. Is he going to be here?
Oh, Mark's going to be here. Definitely.
Okay, yeah. And I'll leave you with this picture again. That is really, it makes me emotional to look at it. Some people hear the music while others feel it. And the little girl in this picture, man, she feels it. I love this picture, Ken.
I love it. It's
Am
great.
I obsessing about it?
No. That's Vic.
What's that supposed to be?
That's Vic Porcelli.
What is that supposed to mean?
You obsess a little bit.
You can be replaced, buddy.
You obsess a little bit.
We'll be right back on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk, and a huge fun sticker.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL. This is the real Kamala Harris.
So I am offering a Green New Deal that has been described as one of the most aggressive and progressive.
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No.
The real Kamala Harris on the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL. Free speech is alive and well in America.
Thanks for taking my call.
Right here.
My point about the governor there, it's absolutely about power. I read this, I almost fell out of my chair.
News Talk STL.
This thing is just absolutely dripping with iron.
News, analysis, opinion.
Attention thrill seekers and fun lovers. Did you know the Midwest's largest wooden roller rink is right here in Missouri? Welcome to Piccadilly Palace, your ultimate family entertainment destination. Glide across our massive skating floor, conquer arcade challenges, put your way through mini golf, and dive into cutting-edge virtual reality experiences. And coming soon, a a relaxing bar and grill patio, state-of-the-art golf simulators, and heart-pounding 2-story go-kart racing next to East Central College in Union, Missouri. Plan your visit now at PiccadillyPalace.com. That's PiccadillyPalace.com.
Tim Jones here for AMF Electric, in business since 1965, offering a full line of industrial, commercial, residential, electrical, and system services. AMF is a merit shop. They work successfully for all owners who favor freedom of economic choice. Yes, even on other AFL trades jobs. At AMF Electric, they're unabashedly pro-American. Call them 314-647-4066. Online, amfelectric.com. That's amfelectric.com.
Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com. Jewels on Hampton.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before October 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is October 30th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number: 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Fox News commentary.
So Kamala agreed to do the Rogan podcast, but only on her terms. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves. But don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Took time out of his campaign schedule to fly to the set of the Joe Rogan podcast in Austin, Texas for a 3-hour, no-holds-barred interview. It's been seen at least tens of millions of times. But Kamala is apparently too good to do the same. Joe Rogan announced he is working with the Kamala team to make an interview happen, but the Kamala camp has a list of petty demands. According to Rogan, Kamala wants to pick the date, demands the Rogan crew come to her, and will only sit for an hour-long interview. Well, to his credit, at least to this point, Joe Rogan isn't budging, and he shouldn't. Why is Kamala too good to sit for the same podcast for the same duration in the same location as her opponent Donald Trump? What makes her some special case? I think we can all read between the lines. Kamala can't hack it. She couldn't make it through a 3-hour unscripted interview with someone who doesn't have a vested interest in her victory. Well, that's too bad, Kamala. You can take it or you can leave it. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
This hour, The Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
On NewstalkSTL.
What will happen if I do not take my shirt, my hat off?
If you refuse, you're going to be arrested and taken to jail.
If I don't take my hat off,
you're going to be fingerprinted and processed. Actually, you're not going to be taken. You're not going to be taken to jail. You're going to be fingerprinted and released.
but I'll be arrested though.
Yes.
For wearing a hat that says "Make America Great Again."
That's correct.
It does not say Donald Trump on it anywhere.
That's correct.
Can you move up, please?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Come out here for this.
That's a great point. His hat doesn't say Trump anywhere. It says "Make America Great Again."
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't wear it because under the electioneering rule, we got to be outside the 25
But
feet.
it doesn't say his name.
It doesn't.
No.
All right. You know what? All I have to say is, all right.
From the county of St. Louis, crime issues, economic development. This is Mark Harder.
Yeah, you bet. Good morning.
Wow.
Councilperson.
I flew in here. I'm hot.
Yeah, it is pretty warm in here.
Yep.
Just flew in. Your arms are so tired.
That's right.
So many things to talk about. Can I get your thoughts though on that guy who went to vote with the "Make America Great Again" hat, and they told him he would be arrested for it?
That's a little bit of a stretch. And like you said, it needs to have the candidate's name, whether it's a T-shirt, a hat, a tattoo, a sign. You can't do those within 25 feet of the polling place. And so as long as you're enforcing that for everybody, that's great. But a slogan, people walk in with T-shirts with slogans all the time. That's a stretch, I think. There's a Karen involved there somewhere that is tattling on somebody or who knows what.
I had this hat on and it says felon 2024. I think people looked at it. Well, people did look at it. And I would have taken it off. I don't care. I'm not really big on that. I think, okay, whatever. Everybody who's going to be there voting, they're going to vote either way. I don't want to stir up anything. But this guy walked out when I was walking in and it had, "We need to fix this." And it had SH*T. Now I know where this guy's going. I know what he's talking about. It didn't affect my vote at all, but it wasn't electioneering.
Right.
Was it?
Well, no, I wouldn't call that, but that's a statement. People make statements all the time. I had a red hat with white letters that said, "Relax, it's just a red hat." And you'd be surprised the looks you get in the grocery store and other places. They think it's a Trump hat, and then
What about this hat?
That one is always acceptable everywhere. News Talk 1019.
But that's a state of our times right now, if you think about it. I mean, you wore that hat and people were getting triggered by the color, basically.
Oh, yeah. They saw it from a distance and they're thinking then when they get right on top of it and just says what it said, then they're like, oh,
But do you get triggered when you see Harris hats or whatever? If you ever
I haven't seen any Harris hats.
Well, I mean, but if you did, I wouldn't go, hyperventilate and then run up and smack them in the face or anything. But these people on the left would.
Yep.
That's a dehumanizing of Donald Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
let's talk.
Wait. Don't you? He's the thunder stealer. Not you.
Okay.
So don't have a hat on that says "Make America Great Again." But if you remember, in the 2020 election, they were showing some of the people who were counting ballots who had shirts on that say "I'm with Biden."
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's getting ridiculous to the point where nobody's going to say anything about this. Nobody's going to do anything about it. That if they can do it, we can do it.
If I saw that and there were 200 people behind me, I'd be screaming at them. I'd be saying, hey, get that shirt off.
Yeah.
Because it's not right, Mark.
Right. No,
ma'am, take that shirt off. Yes, what were we going to say?
I mean, even our election judges, we have to have in St. Louis County, we have to have a Republican and Democrat election judge doing every task. So as you progress through the poll, there's two people. And if you notice, they initial your ballot.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But there's no indication they got no name badge or anything that says they're a Republican judge or Democrat judge until you look down. And I always do that. I look to see who initials the ballot. Then I know,
that's a good point.
Who is who in that line. But that's what you need to do is make sure that they do get, two initials on your ballot. So two people have checked through that ballot.
So absolutely get out and vote. I mean, a lot of the things we talk about and that we talk about with Jay Ashcroft, this state's going to go for Trump. Right?
Yeah.
The state is going to go for Josh Hawley,
Right.
But all these things are great. Everything that Jay Ashcroft says about running an election in our state is great, but the other states don't do it.
Right. There's 50 plus election boards statewide or countrywide. They all set different rules. Then you got counties within those states that are a little bit different in each place. You got equipment that's different by county, by state. So, when people see things on the internet, oh, this machine is hooked to the internet, or this machine is doing this. That's not in St. Louis County.
Right.
That's not in Missouri.
Right.
That could be in who knows where. So yes, could it be rigged? Anybody could rig anything. As they say, statistics don't lie, but statisticians do. So, those kind of things, you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
That's why I was against this idea of hand counting ballots. Can you imagine in a race as popular as this has been, and what Tuesday night next week is going to be like, if you had a hand count every ballot that came in? We'd be there. You wouldn't get a total count for weeks. And then you'd say, well, there must be, funny business going on because we can't get a count. We have 300,000 or plus registered voters in St. Louis County. Can you imagine hand counting Democrat, Republican, counting every ballot? It's crazy.
Just a little pushback on that, though. Taiwan just had their election with 26 million people, and they voted and hand counted votes, 26 million votes in 6 hours.
Okay. Well, how many people did that?
Right.
Did they have 100,000 people doing that?
Volunteer position. For
Right.
Sure.
We don't have that in St. Louis County. We're lucky to get a
so that's
full
the big
complement.
difference.
Right.
Is
It's
support.
It's a people issue.
We have a lot of things to talk about here. So I want you to talk, Mark, about, first of all, being able to get Trump signs at the Republican headquarters in Fenton. Is that right?
Yes, it's in Gravois Bluffs Shopping Center, back by JCPenney. If you know where JCPenney is, I don't know the exact address, but if you get to JCPenney, you'll see our office, the Trump office. It's the St. Louis County Republican Central Committee office. They've got Trump memorabilia, T-shirts, flags, signs, you name it, and we got to sell it out, and all that proceeds helps the Republican Party in St. Louis County.
Perfect. Okay, now let's go through the amendments that are just in St. Louis County.
Yes.
Go.
Okay, we got. This is an easy way to remember it. Our amendments are AOC. So we have Amendment O, which deals with the date that our new council, after election, the date our new council starts. And so this is a cleanup of some of the language in our charter. And basically it says that our council will start, the first meeting of the year will be the first Tuesday after the 1st of January. Okay. And so people will be sworn in on that day. People will vote for leadership, and we'll handle that. Will be the first day of business for the council. So that cleans up that language. And I say vote yes on O. Okay. C is the ability for the council to hire our own legal staff or legal help. And that could be done through a contract. It could be done with a hourly basis, but it's to give us the ability to hire it when we need it. I don't see this person sitting there day after day, but there are issues where we get in disputes with the county executive, and we have to use his attorney, which is the county's attorney, who he appoints. And so that's not good. And it's never been good. And we fought this since I've been on the council. We hope that the people of St. Louis County will vote yes on that so that we can get, when we need it, our own legal staff for issues dealing with disputes between the different branches of government. So that's Proposition C. And then A is basically giving the council the ability to put our own representatives on the Port Authority, which is our economic development board. And we want to be able to we've got 7 members. We want to have 7 members of our council have a representative on that Port Authority going forward. Right now, they have them in some cases, but when those jobs come due or when those jobs expire, the county executive has been appointing his person to go in those positions. And we want to continue that it's appointed by the individual council members. So those are the kind of things. That's AOC. Vote yes on all three. It's easier to remember.
Yes for AOC.
That's AOC.
AOC.
Yeah.
So-
No peace, no AOC, right?
AOC.
That's the other way around.
Something like that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Mike Archer.
Yes.
Is on the ballot.
Yes. If you live in South St. Louis County, you got to vote for Mike Archer. He'll be a great asset to our county council. He's been working it hard. I've never seen somebody work so hard for a county council position. And so we need to get him elected. So if you're down in South County, you'll see him on the ballot. Please vote yes for Mike Archer.
And we need to work it harder.
And work it harder.
Harder.
When we try.
Yeah. You got one more minute. Anything you want to say that's important to you?
Well, the big thing is that this vote no on 3. We've got to get people out. We got to get people voting no on Proposition 3. If you do any minor research on this, this bill is so dangerous for the future of our state and the lives of babies and the lives of our mothers in this state. It goes way past the whole issue of abortion. It goes because it is a constitutional amendment. The legislature will have a very hard time, if not impossible time, of changing anything that's in this. And so when we talk about mother's health, we talk about, this bill will eliminate ultrasounds. This bill will be abortion at all 9 months. I mean, it is too far left than anything in this country. And this is what's bringing people out right now. So we've got to do a better job of getting our neighbors out and getting people to say no on Proposition 3.
Okay. And I think we need to get the conversation of initiative petition back into the legislature.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's for another day. All right, Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see
thanks,
you.
Mark.
Vote today.
Don't forget the MVets Veteran Service Organization and their big barbecue happening this coming Saturday. West County Smoking for Veterans Barbecue Bash.
Yeah.
At Clancy's in Ellisville. It's right off Old State Road. Good food, great people. And Paul got home just in time to get into the chat box and say, "Woosh, my brother."
And actually,
whoosh, whoosh. Remember, some people hear the music while others feel it. I love that picture so much, Ken.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Mark Carter, thanks for coming in. Thanks to
guys.
Tim Jones, all our great guests today. And Kenny and I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home and whoosh, my brothers and sisters.
News Talk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the St. Louis radio airwaves for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Money Radio 3 times every weekend on News Talk STL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com. You could also reach Doug at 844-6766. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, Kirk Hilsinger here, and I'm the new chairman of the St. Louis Republican Central Committee. We are looking for election workers for the upcoming general election. We need patriots to step up and get involved. We also invite you to our meetings that take place the first Thursday of every month at 3710 Hampton Avenue. And we remind you to vote no on 3, yes on 7, and no on Prop A on November 5th. For more information, visit our new website at stl-gop.com. That's stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Bill O'Reilly on Amendment 3.
Missouri, red state, listen to this. They have an amendment on the ballot. Amendment 3, Right to Reproductive Freedom Initiative. This is what, if it passes, citizens of Missouri voting on it, this is what would happen. Legalize abortion in Missouri for the entire 40-week term of pregnancy up to the moment of birth. All right? 2, adds the phrase pregnant person instead of woman to the Missouri Constitution. 3, removes parental notification and consent requirements, allowing minors to undergo an abortion without informing their parents or guardians. 4, allows taxpayer-funded abortions in Missouri. 5, prevents women from suing if they or baby are harmed during pregnancy or during an abortion. Now, I can't imagine the good people of Missouri voting for this. Believe me, I'm an open-minded guy when it comes to politics. But this is Red China stuff.
Vote no on 3 from NewstalkSTL.
Navigating healthcare can be tricky, but you don't have to do it alone. The Navigator Project is here to help Missourians every step of the way. We provide free, personalized assistance with enrollment in the healthcare marketplace. We'll guide you through your options, help find the right plan, and get the coverage you need. Go to ma4web.org and select the Services tab to find a navigator. Brought to you by the Missouri Association of Area Agencies on Aging.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Less than a week before the election, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will crisscross several swing states today and will pass each other in Wisconsin, where the former president is scheduled to appear in Green Bay with local icon retired NFL quarterback Brett Favre. Kamala Harris with a rally tonight in Madison. President Biden's reaction to the Puerto Rico garbage controversy is stirring both campaigns. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton.
In response to a comedian calling Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage at a Donald Trump rally, President Biden said the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. The White House quickly clarified, saying the president was only referring to the comedian. But the Trump campaign pounced, claiming Joe Biden and Kamala Harris despise the tens of millions of Americans who support Trump. The vice president told reporters that she strongly disagrees with any criticism of anybody based on who they vote for. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Also at townhall.com, Virginia given the go-ahead by the U.S. Supreme Court to resume its purge of voter rolls.
The state says the purge is aimed at stopping people who aren't U.S. citizens from voting. The justices granted an emergency appeal from Virginia's Republican administration. The court gave no rationale for its action, but that's typical in emergency appeals. The court acted on Virginia's appeal after a federal judge found that the state illegally purged more than 1,600 voter registrations in the past 2 months. A federal appeals court had previously allowed the judge's order to remain in effect. Haya Panjwani, Washington.
Jaywalking now legal in New York City. Legislation passed by the city council officially became law over the weekend after Mayor Eric Adams declined to sign it or veto it after 30 days. The Dow is ahead 213 points and the NASDAQ composite up 40. More at townhall.com.
Hey, folks, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at the Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word prepare to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text prepare to 989898. That's prepare to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Squeezing in one more really warm day before a Halloween weather shake-up. A high of 85 this afternoon. South winds gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. The evening will be dry and warm, but rain and thunderstorms move in after midnight, probably closer to 4 or 5 in the morning in the St. Louis metro, down to 64 for the low. Rain wraps up by 10 a.m., then we clear out and cool down. Should be near 60 by trick-or-treat time. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD.
Join the East Central Area Missouri Right to Life for their Vote No Convoy event, Saturday, November 2nd. Gather for a vehicle convoy starting in Eureka. Join us as we encourage voters to keep Missouri pro-life and vote no on Amendment 3. Meet at the commuter lot at 201 West 4th Street. Arrival time is 8:30 a.m. Convoy departs at 9:30. Reserve your spot now on Facebook by searching No on Amendment 3 Convoy or call 314-580-9802. Join the convoy in Eureka Saturday, November 2nd. Paid for by East Central Area Missouri Right to Life.
Ready to explore the underwater world? Great American Divers, your veteran-owned local scuba center, is making waves with incredible offers. Get $50 off any new open water course when you mention NewstalkSTL. And mark your calendars. November 8th and 9th is our massive fall sale. Everything in store on sale, plus our huge swap and sale event for quality used gear. Daddy certification, equipment repairs, we got it all. Our experienced staff is passionate about teaching, and we're the only center in the area with our own indoor heated pool. Visit GreatAmericanDivers.com today. Great American Divers, where adventure runs deep.
America Decides 2024.
Harry J's Steakhouse in Moscow Mills brings you Election Night 2024.
You have to get out and vote. Election results, analysis, and opinion from the local conservative voices you know and trust.
Republicans, Democrats,
Independents. Coverage begins Tuesday, November 5th at 7 p.m. with St. Louis's true conservative voice. Right here.
News Talk STL. Brought to you by Piccadilly Palace and Patriot Powder Coating and Iron Bear Customs.
Hey, Colombo here for Intervine, a great local company that has customers all across the country due to the quality of their products. Intervine has the best flashlights, lanterns, headlamps, and even batteries, including the new Monster 2000 Lumen waterproof lantern and the Sentinel 2000 self-defense flashlight. Our home and vehicles are full of great Intervine products, and right now you can shop their website and get 25% off your entire purchase just by using my name, Tony, as your promo code. That's promo code Tony at Intervine.com.
If you find yourself feeling out of place in the world, it's comforting to know conservative values haven't been abandoned everywhere.
Thanks for being my voice in all this.
This is News Talk STL.
There are people out there that feel the way that I feel and say what I say.
Welcome home. News, analysis, opinion. News Talk STL.
From the NYPD to the Secret Service to behind the microphone, taking the fight to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Dan Bongino Show. Here he is, Dan Bongino.
So I hope you're going to spend election night with us. I really want to spend it with you. Folks, you don't need legacy media anymore. The biggest double-barrel middle finger I think I've seen in the last 2 or 3 years when digital media really exploded was debate night, when the Dan Bongino Show and other digital shows, Crowder and others, crushed legacy media on debate night digitally. I'm not telling you they still don't have a broadcast cable over-the-air presence. They do. Anyone telling you otherwise is a moron. However, we did destroy them digitally, and it wasn't even close. So I hope you spend election night with us. I was just seeing on Twitter, the Hodge twins put out, who are you going to spend election night with? A bunch of people responded, Bongino, and I appreciate that. I promise I won't let you down. We've got some of the best coverage out there. It's available exclusively at Rumble, rumble.com/Bongino. Of course, I will be on the radio that day as well. So, so don't sweat that. But we'll be on the air. It'll be a lot of coverage that day. I'll be on the air between 3 hours of radio and probably 4+ hours of podcasting, whatever you want to call it, digital streaming that night. Probably upwards of 8 hours. Listen, folks, something big happened yesterday. But I'm here again to give you the good news and the bad news, okay? Because what I don't want to do is, my biggest fear is a 2016 Hillary Clinton redo, where we're all sitting here celebrating like Hillary Clinton's people were. I am telling you, very few people saw the writing on the wall that Hillary Clinton would lose that campaign. They were celebrating. Hillary Clinton had desks picked out in the White House. I'm always honest about my contacts, right? My contacts. I had a lot of contacts in the Hillary Clinton sphere. Why, Dan? You're a Republican. Because I worked on Long Island as a Secret Service agent when she was running for Senate in New York. And one of the places she was struggling a little bit was Long Island, which is where I was assigned. I was assigned to the Melville resident office of the Secret Service, which is right outside of the New York office, right? So long and short of it is, I had a lot of contacts still from the Hillary Clinton days, and they would tell me, a lot of them had left, and they would just tell me things, especially when I became a media personality, talking head, or whatever. And I'm telling you, they had no idea they were going to lose. None. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to replicate that mistake on our side. So the good news for us is this. The good news is Biden's a tyrant. Harris was his pick. Harris is even dumber than Biden, which makes me nervous because dumb tyrants are really dangerous. And they showed their true colors last night. They put themselves in such a bad spot. It reminds me of when Biden got caught secreting classified paperwork in his garage as they were simultaneously trying to prosecute Donald Trump for paperwork at Mar-a-Lago that, by the way, Donald Trump had the right to declassify and Biden did it. It just totally, completely stepped on their message. They did it again last night. Kamala Harris goes on the ellipse, gives this speech to 80,000 people or whatever it is, 75,000 people. Who knows? By their count, it's probably 10,000 people. Who the hell knows, right? They do this, right? Kamala Harris is trying to make a closing argument. And this cerebral mass of oatmeal sociopath who cannot stay away from the camera, Joe Biden, because he thinks he's this transformative figure, right? Has to go out and give an interview on CNN or the donors or whatever it is, whatever he was doing. And what does he do? Just as the media is trying to tell you that an insult comics joke about garbage is a big deal, Joe Biden, who is not an insult comic, he's the actual president of the United States, comes out, calls basically 74 million people garbage, and now the media doesn't know what to do. Think about it. They have been trying to tell you, don't vote for Trump, not on what Trump said, but what an insult comic said about garbage. And now they're trying to tell you, vote for Kamala Harris, even though her boss who picked her and said she was really smart just said you're all garbage. Folks, this is, it's bad for America, but it's good for freedom and liberty. It's bad for America because when the sitting president of the United States genuinely believes that 74 million of his constituents are garbage, that's not a good thing. However, if you're looking to get rid of that and get back to a country of freedom and liberty where everyone's big R God-given rights are respected and at least they out themselves, maybe the outcome can be good from it. Folks, I have a lot of golden rules on this show, and one of the reasons I ask you to tune in is I promise you're going to hear stuff here you haven't seen anywhere else or heard anywhere else. And it's easy for me to say, oh, Joe Biden called this garbage. I'm going to play the clip for you in a second. Don't think I forgot. But what's really destructive about this is the most damaging political narratives in the world are those that change your pre-existing notion of who a candidate is. I cannot use this example enough. If you haven't heard it, you're going to hear it right now. You get a guy who's a preacher who's running for office who gets caught in a strip club. Folks, it's probably the end of his campaign, correct? Changed the pre-existing notion of who the candidate is. Get it? Good. However, you get a guy like Usher who runs for office, this singer, Usher Raymond, who has a song about love in the club, talking about the strip club. That's not going to damage his campaign. He wrote a song about it. You may not like it, but it's not going to change your pre-existing notion. What does that have to do with the garbage comment? Folks, you've heard it from them. Kamala Harris is trying to run this Ren and Stimpy happy, happy, joy, joy campaign without actually saying anything. How the hell do you run a happy, happy, joy, joy campaign when your ticket mate, the Biden-Harris regime, goes on a media channel and calls people garbage? Half the country. I mean, how many names are they going to call us? Bitter clingers, deplorables, hayseeds, rednecks, flyover country. How many Nazis, fascists, racists, how many names are they going to call us before you guys have had enough if you're still on the fence? Now, I'm not calling you that. I'm not calling you that. Oh, yeah, liberals definitely are tyrants. There's no doubt what they've done to us. But these independents, you've heard me say all the time, how many times if you listen to this show, I could go back and put together a 2-hour hot take of me saying it. If you're a P1 listener, you know it. Don't I almost every time preface it by saying, listen, I'm not talking about all Democrats because I want it to be clear. I don't want to do it. That you know I've said that all the time because I'm not. There are Democrats out there who sincerely love this country. They serve in our military. They're cops. They're firemen. They're flying your planes. They just feel differently about some issues. Liberals, the Antifa, BLM crowd, the people want to censor people, take away the rights, that's a different crew. That is not how the Democrats in power feel about you. What Joe Biden said last night is so destructive because it decimates the pre-existing narrative of who this guy is. The Scranton kid, working class guy. Hey, even Republicans like him. He's so friendly. He just called you all garbage. And no, he wasn't referring to supporters of the comics. Jim, cue up for me, cut one. Here is Biden calling Trump supporters garbage. You can hear it yourself. Check this out.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
I want to play it again because, the hack, goon, losers, communists, I mean, they're straight up commies in the media, are now trying to pretend that when he says his supporters, that he's talking about the comedian. But I want you to listen again. I want you to know when he says his supporters are garbage, when he talks about that, he goes right on to talk about his, meaning Trump again in the next sentence, making it clear in the next phrase. He's talking about Trump. He's talking about Trump supporters. Play it again.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Notice he says his demonization. He's talking about Trump. Trump's supporters are garbage. He's not talking about some comedian who, let's be honest, folks, most of you had never even heard of before this performance. The media just got done telling us, did they not, that an off-color joke from an insult comic 5 hours before President Trump was even in the building is indicative of how you should vote on taxes, the border, national security, inflation, healthcare, education, that the comedian, that's who you should be listening to. Now you've got the current president supporting Kamala Harris. She's a vice president. She's his vice president, calling you all garbage, and you've got the media doing this. Cue up for me, cut two, Jim. This is why everyone with functioning neurons absolutely reviles the filth in the mainstream media. You know what he said. It's on audio. It's on video. I just played it for you twice. I just played it. You know what he said. All you have to do is come out and tell the truth. America's seen it. You can't do it because you're garbage filth people. That's why 31% of Americans trust you and 69% of Americans do not. 7 out of 10 Americans think you suck, and you still don't think you have a messaging problem. Listen to them, the media, MSNBC, blame this on Republicans pouncing and not Biden's inability to shut his mouth and say the quiet part out loud. Check this out.
And what he said was, and I'll just read a little bit here from the transcript. He just says that, I know Puerto Ricans from my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable and un-American. Now, some on the right have seized that comment to mean his supporters, meaning Donald Trump's supporters, meaning all Trump supporters, half the country, saying the president is calling them garbage. The White House is saying, no, there's an apostrophe there. He's talking about his supporter, meaning the comedian.
This is incredible. This is, folks, however much you hate these people, I'm telling you, it's not enough. It is not enough. These people are destroying America. They are destroying the fabric of this country. The way they talk to you as if you're morons. Oh, no, Republicans are seizing on it. Did you? Take a breath, man. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm not having the greatest day here at all. If you watch my podcast, you probably figure it out. But I want you to think this through for a second. Forget the comedian thing for a second. I made my point there. Donald Trump's given a speech not that long ago. He is clearly, you can read the mother transcript, is talking about the car industry and mentions if he loses that the car industry will be a bloodbath. Keep in mind, for liberal morons out there, You can read the transcript. I know you won't because you're too stupid, but you can read it. For weeks, Donald Trump's calling for a bloodbath, calling for violence. He said absolutely no such thing at all. And the media for weeks goes out communist style and parrots the narrative. For weeks. Joe Biden says clear as day. In context, you can listen to the whole clip's even worse. Calls 74 million people garbage. He's the sitting president. And what's the media's first response? It's Republicans' fault for seizing. All I'm asking now is, you just if you're not voting, just tune out the show. It's not for you. If you're not voting, you understand the media will be totally, completely powerless in the next 4 years if we win this election. They will. They'll have realized that between X and Rumble and True Social, that we have an entirely new mainstream media, and they will be minority players at this point. We lose this election, we're going to be dealing with this forever. The country we can't take 4 more years of this. We just can't. All right, I'm not done with this. More coming up next. We'll be right back.
Bongino. Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8th, 2025, if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodities interest can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at robinhood.com/election.
Dan Bongino.
What happens next?